What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all had a great day, or are having a great day. Before I get into this, there was an interview Steve Burton did where he talked about his return and why he returned and things like that. He did say that this return is not short term. He said this is a long term comeback. So that's what makes me feel like yeah, he's definitely Jason Murray because he's coming back long term. You know what I mean? There's no way they're making him another character. Absolutely not. But he said that he contacted Billy Miller on the phone. He said he talked to Billy Miller. He didn't really say what that conversation was about. Well, I didn't catch that part of the interview about what the conversation was about. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with them, getting to know each other and stuff like that, talking. And it's quite funny that Billy Miller was on Wynard, and after he left Wynard, Steve Burton. It's kind of funny. That is hilarious. But yeah. So it's definitely long term for Steve Burton, which is a good thing. But getting into this episode, a lot of fuckery. This whole episode I felt like was more about Jason than anybody else. This whole episode was about Jason. Like seriously, Sam having that dream about her being on the pier and seeing Jason and stuff like that. I said, if I hear it's just two things on this show, I'm just at this point tired of hearing Jason's name and Ask Man Landers. I'm sick of hearing that shit. Like, that's all I heard throughout this entire episode. Jason, Jason, Jason. I'm sorry about Jason. Sorry, I heard about Jason. I'm sorry about Jason. That's all I heard. Here go Amy. Oh, Ask Man Landers. Ask Man Landers. Can we get a break from some of this shit? Like, can we talk about something else? Because I'm just getting tired of hearing this shit. Like, it's like they beat you over the head with this shit, like ad nauseum. Like, this is ridiculous. Um, Curtis and Jordan. I understand that they can take care of themselves. She's a police commissioner. He's a PI. But who in their right mind jogs on a dark ass pier where you know that there's mob activity, gunshots, all type of shit? Why are y'all running around on some dark, gloomy ass pier, jogging and shit that time of night? Why? I just want to know why people do dumb shit like that. Cause you ain't catching me on nobody pier late at no night jogging. Hell no. Hell no. Nope, not gonna happen. I know people go out at night and they like to jog at night and stuff like that, but why a pier, a deserted pier at night when it's all foggy looking and stuff? Like, why would you want to do that? I don't know. That shit just strikes me as odd. But anyway, they talking about Aunt Stella, of course, the fact that she's staying in town or whatever. So Jordan walks off real quick, and that's when Sonny comes up, basically telling Curtis that anything he need, let him know, and Curtis extended the same olive branch. Anything you need, let me know. Any intel, whatever. So they shake hands, and that's when Jordan catch them shaking hands. I said, Jordan is going to assume what a lot of people may assume in that situation is that Sonny's probably trying to recruit Curtis for his new hitman. I wouldn't put it past Sonny, especially the way he was smirking and stuff like that. I wouldn't put it past him because number one, when Jason died the first time, or allegedly died, supposedly died, Sean became his new right hand man right after. So now that Jason's in a coma and it looks like he's not going to wake up, I guess Sonny's looking to fill a new position, I guess. But I mean, it's not really a new position because when Jason came back, Jason technically wasn't working for Sonny. He was helping him out here and there, but he wasn't really working back in the mob again. He really wasn't. So it's a little different. Um, but yeah, I don't blame Jordan for being suspicious of that handshake. You know what I mean? Like I really don't blame her for it. But she got to remember, like Curtis is a PI, so he's gonna, work for whoever has the bigger paycheck. So of course, that's what PIs do. They work for anybody. They're freelance. Um, Anna Devane is starting to get on my nerves. Now everybody know I love Anna Devane. Like I love her. I don't like the way she's being written though. That I don't like. Um, her basically like I get that she wants to know if Valentine was a part of this group of thieves or whatever. I get it. She's obsessed. She wants to know. And she needs Finn's help with this. And Finn basically turned her down. And I don't blame him for turning her down because he's trying to get his life together. Like his life was just shattered into a billion pieces and he's trying to pick it back up again. And here you come with this bullshit that he has no interest in something that really doesn't have anything to do with him. So now she calls Robert to get intel on Finn to dig up some dirt on him, something that she can use against him to blackmail him into doing what she want him to do. Like, really, Anna? That's how low you're gonna go? You're gonna blackmail this man now into doing whatever you want him to do? I didn't think that was her style to blackmail good people, but I guess she's that desperate where Valentine is concerned. Like, I just feel like that's tacky as hell, especially on her part. I don't expect such behavior from her and, blackmailing good people. I could see her blackmailing a bad person, threatening them. I could see that. But blackmailing a doctor just because he doesn't want to do your bidding, get over it. Find another approach. But the one scene I was so happy I got to see finally, even though it wasn't as major as I wanted it to be, but it was something. Was Monica lashing out at Sonny? That's what I craved to see that moment, and I finally got a piece of that moment because if Sonny sees Monica, why wouldn't you just turn around and go in the opposite direction? You have brought hell upon her family for years. And you think it's okay to walk up to her talking about whatever you need, I do it. She needs you to get the fuck out of her face. That's what she needs you to do. You done terrorized her family. You caused enough problems in her family for a lifetime. She does not like you. She doesn't respect you. She doesn't want to be around you. Keep it pushing. Why would you even in her face? Don't offer your condolence. Don't offer nothing. Don't offer to help. Just get the fuck out of her face. Like, I agree with Monica. You have both her son's blood on your hands. That's what you have. Years ago, over 10 years ago, when he was dating Emily, Emily got shot at because of him. Monica and Alan begged Emily to stop seeing Sonny. Begged her. Because they knew if she kept seeing Sonny, eventually he was going to get her killed. You know what I mean? Like, he got her shot at, the whole fucking nine. Like, you've brought enough damage upon that family to last a billion years. Like, get out of her face. Seriously. I don't blame her for lashing out. She felt like she was kind of wrong for lashing out at him at that moment because she is, chief of staff and it's not her style to really lash out at people, especially in front of her staff and stuff like that. She wanted to show some decorum, but I don't blame her for going off on Sonny because Sonny always talking about, oh, it wasn't my intention. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. You never mean for anything to happen. That's the problem. You don't mean for it to happen, but guess what? It always happens because of you. But I agree with her to an extent where she says she can't put the full blame on him because she has to put some blame on Jason too because he's a grown man and he chose to make these decisions for his life. I that's why I don't feel bad for Sam. I don't feel bad for Jason. I feel bad for the people around them who have nothing to do with that lifestyle. I feel bad for their kids. Jason openly chose this life. And this is what I find so funny. Jason, I get that his personality it was altered because of that car crash he had with AJ, and that's what kind of and the family kind of drove him into the mob. He felt, but I feel like the Quartermains did not drive you into the mob. Yeah, the Quartermains are assholes, but that's all they're guilty of. Carly and everybody else tried to make the Quartermains seem like they were the devil. All they did was backstab each other and try to take over the company and bicker and banter every day. That's all they did. They didn't kill each other. They didn't try to shoot each other. Except for the time AJ did shoot Alan, but that was different. But it wasn't like that with that family. They had their issues and stuff like that, but at least they didn't go around killing people for a living. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't violence surrounding that family 24 hours a day. Carly chose to raise her son as a fucking Corinthos instead of a Quartermain, and look what happened to that boy. He grew up in a rich family. He grew up in a wealthy family. Had every advantage. He could have went to college and became a doctor, a lawyer, a CEO. He could have became whatever the hell he wanted, and you chose to become a mob boss. Well, not a mob boss, but you chose, to get into the business. That's a choice that you didn't have to make. Sonny had to make that choice back in the day because he grew up with nothing. The only real family he had was his mother. That's the only real family he had. He had nothing. He didn't grow up with money, so I can understand. I can understand why Sonny chose that business because it got him out the gutter. So I can understand that. But Jason didn't have to choose that life. He didn't grow up poor. He grew up in a rich family. He had every advantage, and that's what you chose to do with your advantages. Like seriously, I can't feel bad for people who make decisions like that when they don't have to. You don't have to. You had a trust fund, you had all of this. You could have just simply filed a lawsuit to emancipate yourself, get access to your trust, and you could have lived a nice, comfortable life. But no, you had to choose this life. And you blame the Quartermains for choosing it when it wasn't their fault that you chose it. It was your choice. They didn't force you to do a damn thing. Not a damn thing. You chose to do that. So I don't feel bad for people that make these kind of decisions for themselves when they don't have to. I don't feel bad for it. The people around you, the innocent ones, that's who I feel bad for. You personally, no, I don't. Um, so yeah, I don't blame Monica for lashing out. You killed her son. You brought another one of her sons into the organization. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I don't blame her for feeling the way she felt. She lost a lot of her family members. The bulk of her family is fucking dead. The only child she has left at this point is Jason. That's the only kid she got. And look at him. He hanging on by a damn thread, barely. He ain't got no brain activity. So that's what Monica and Alexis had to go tell Sam and Spinelli. Basically, they need to figure out what they're going to do about Jason. Sam was not hearing it. She did not want to put Jason in a long-term care facility. And she kind of had a little attitude or whatever with Monica for even suggesting it, talking about, oh, you're his mother. Yeah, she's his mother, but right now she's not talking as his mother. She's talking as his doctor. She's a doctor. She's talking as a doctor. And she's telling you that it's within the best interest of the family that he goes to a long term care facility with nurses and doctors who can give him round the clock care, which I think is a good thing. Sam doesn't want to do that. She wants him to go home with her. She got the money to set up a care facility basically in the penthouse. I don't think that's good for her, and I don't think that's good for the kids because how are you gonna do that? The kids are just gonna run into the room every day and see him as a vegetable. That's not good for them. Mentally, that's not good for them. Hell no. Psychologically, no, that's not good for them. They're too young. They don't need to see that. Danny, especially. I mean, Scout is a baby. She doesn't know what's going on. But Danny, come on, he's old enough. He doesn't need to see that. That's traumatizing for him. He doesn't need to see his dad just lying there, can't talk, can't move. You know what I mean? Let him go to a long-term care facility. She feels like if she does that, that's like her giving up on Jason. I don't see it as her giving up on Jason because Sonny and Carly had to do the same thing for Michael. They had no choice. It was either that or pull the plug. And they definitely weren't about to kill their son. That wasn't about to happen. But I think, it's not giving up on him. You can visit him whenever you want to. Giving up on him would be you pulling the plug. That's giving up. Putting him in a long term care facility is keeping him alive, showing that you actually care and you feel like he's gonna pull through. You know what I mean? Like that's giving yourself some hope that one day he'll pull through. It might look dire right now, but you never know. Because at the end of the episode, he did twitch his hands. His hands moved, but I felt like that was a reflex. Because that does happen to people in comas. Like, their hands might move or whatever like that, but that don't mean they're waking up. A lot of times, that's not what that means. That's just a reflex. I remember Patrick told that to Carly and Sonny. I think Michael moved his fingers or whatever when he was in a coma and they thought he was waking up, but it's a reflex. It happens to people in comas and stuff. It's just a little reflex. But you got to make the tough decisions. I'm happy Spinelli was there for her though. to be a shoulder to lean on and stuff like that. I didn't really care for his scenes with Amy. I never really cared for Amy, period. I just don't care for her at all. All she keeps talking about is this goddamn ass Landers, and I'm getting sick of it. So today is the day of Franco's art show. So everybody's pretty much in attendance. Kiki helped set the whole thing up. Scotty's there basically to support his son and to basically try to get a commission by selling paintings. I swear, Scott, I'm not mad at him. Scott don't give a fuck where he at. He be getting his hustle on. I ain't mad at it. He trying to get a commission off them paintings. He was like, shit. He told Kiki, all the customers send them to me when they want. He said, I'll close the deal. I ain't mad at you. Shit, get your commission. Fuck that. I ain't mad at you. You could be there to support your son, but get your money at the same time. Fuck that. That's what I be doing too. Sip champagne and get paid. Sign me up. I'll take that commission. Fuck that. You sell a painting for $100,000, you get a commission of that shit? Shit. I'll take it. Cause you sell a painting for $100,000, your commission is gonna be at least 30,000. At least. Shit, I'll take it. Um so anyway, Valentine and Nina show up because, Crimson, I guess, is covering the art gallery or whatever. And Maxie and Nathan are there because she needs a big story, and she feel like her big story would be her going public with the fact that she slept with Franco years ago. I thought the same thing Nathan thought. Why the hell would you want to publicize that? Knowing you're married and stuff like that nowadays, why would you even want that out to the world? Who you had sex with? Why would you want that out there? Like, I guess she trying to save her job, but that's not the way to go about it. And if I was her husband, yeah, I would not want your past sexcapades in print for a million people to see. Like, yeah, no. Find another story. Please and thank you. I'm just saying. Um, so Nina and them, her and Valentine was looking over the paintings and stuff like that. She rushed the hell out there. They went home. I don't really give a flying fig about Nina and Valentine as a couple. As a couple, I really just don't care for them. They're just boring to me. And she's sitting there sugarcoating, basically putting her own spin on what happened between her and Franco. Oh, Franco didn't want kids with me, so we broke up, and he got with Elizabeth, who has 3 kids. If you're gonna tell a story, tell it right. It's not that he didn't want to have kids with you. It's the fact biologically he didn't want to have kids. At the time, he didn't want to raise kids because he didn't want to pass off his fucked up genes to another generation of kids. He didn't want to do that. The difference with Elizabeth's children, they know who their father is. They were practically raised by their father for the first few years of their lives. So, he's not really passing off anything to them, and they're not biologically his. So there's a difference. She wanted to get pregnant at the time. And yeah, he didn't want a biological child. And at the time, he was skeptical about adoption because he was afraid to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? He's not really raising Elizabeth's children. He's there, but he's not really raising them. He's not teaching them how to be a man or anything like that. Elizabeth is doing all the teaching, and plus she got Jason and stuff like that. Well, she had Jason, but whatever. There's a difference. I mean, if you're gonna tell a story, tell it right. Um, but yeah, I just don't care for Nina and Valentine. They bore the shit out of me. So Franco mother Betsy showed up, his adoptive mother. She showed up and she met Elizabeth or whatever, and she apologized for the whole kidnapping of Aiden 7 years ago. Um, so when Franco brought up a second child, Betsy completely eluded the question until she figured out that Franco really invited her there to talk to her about his past and why was Jason Morgan in his picture. So now she's about to drop dime and tell him the truth about what happened all those years ago. So hopefully we get the truth in this episode because I'm like ready to put this shit to bed already and find out what the fuck is going on. Um, so yeah, that was pretty much the episode. Let me know what you thought about today's episode. Hit that comment button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I hope all of you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. I will see all of you Monday. Have a great day. Have a blessed weekend. See you all later. Peace.